You have to realize and what's your shit that you're projecting to someone else, and what needs to be fought and what needs not to be. What needs to be addressed and what, like in that moment, for instance. Nana was doing some shit that pissed everybody the fuck off, right? She was addressing her feelings about that shit, and she was just expressing it outwardly, not on anyone else, not finding anything with anyone else. She was just expressing it outwardly, which triggered in you some, those feelings, but you took it out by fighting her. Instead of realizing like, okay, I'm upset at what the fuck she did too. You like, this is an avenue for me to get this emotion out, but I could get it out by rationalizing how she's fucking wrong. Because prior to this, me and her had issues anyway. But the moment wasn't, well, maybe you seen phony in her before. And maybe you like, fuck it, I'm gonna say something to her to get out these feelings that I have about Eliana. Truly, it had nothing to do with her. It had nothing to do with her. It had everything to do with Eliana. In that moment, and that's what I'm saying, the energy is not being constructed correctly.
I agree with that.
Oh, don't change the energy now because we live.
I'm in agreement. So
Don't be phony. Don't be phony.
I didn't even know you was live yet. Okay, so anyways, I already agreed with the way that it was done. Could have been done differently. Yes. Like I said, I'm gonna address it, but what I'm being told is to not address it.
No, I'm saying address what's behind it, what's really going on. I'm saying address that. Address what's really going on. You understand? Who?
So I'm going back to that incident because that's what we were just talking about.
Don't take what personally. Everything here is personal.
I see myself in it.
Everything is very personal because this is your reality. This is a hologram. What do you mean don't take it personal? That's the wrong advice. You are to look at what's going on and to dissect it in a way that it does affect you, and because it is you. You cannot detach from your. That's what you do. That you detach from your reality and say that has nothing to do with me, because that's your ego. Your individuality will tell you that it got nothing to do with me. When the reality is, especially if it's in your motherfucking life, it has everything to do with you. What's going on with Eliana has everything to do with you. So she was just making an observation by saying, oh, yeah, this is really going on. This is really what happened to me and my mom and dad. And damn, from what I heard, I don't know what else she said that triggered you.
And I agreed with that part. I was like,
okay,
yeah.
What triggered you?
Just the fact that I felt like she was trying to jump down on my throat, and I'm like, yo, you can't, like, for me, because I was upset. Yes, I was.
She was trying to jump down her throat like what? What did she say?
She was like, just the fact that she was like, I would never do that. Having this, like, just because she was able to realize in the moment that she's pregnant now, she can feel some movement, that she would never leave her child behind. She would just saying stuff like that, and just how like this shit is crazy. Like it was crazy, but I'm saying like. So
she was expressing her emotion.
Yeah, she was,
and that pissed you off. Why?
I wasn't taken away from how she was expressing her emotions. I'm just saying it had nothing to do with. Okay, yes, you can tie yourself to that, so it can affect you, but don't turn it to about you. It's still about her at the end of the day, and that's what I said in that moment too. And stop taking it so personally, because it's about her, what she's dealing with, not what. No, but it is about that's on a fucking third. You know what I mean? Like that's on some lower self type shit thinking. Because it has everything to do with you. It's in your life. Everything that's happening here is a holographic universe. This is a hologram. You might think that she's separate of you. That's the illusion. The higher self knows that if you was in your higher self, you would realize that this is your part. This is an aspect within your own self. Okay, so it has something to do with you. We're very connected to it. We're very connected to it. You understand what I'm saying to you? You're telling her, don't make it about something that's going on with you when she's experiencing it through her. I
She's observing it, and she is the observation. Now I know what you're saying. Please don't do that. I hear what you're saying. Please don't explain it again. What you're saying, and I'm gonna let you know what you're saying, so you don't have to keep explaining it. Is that don't make it about you. Let's focus on Nana right now. Let's not make it about you. But that wasn't the lesson in it. If we just did that, then that wouldn't. That if we just said, oh, let's focus on Nana right now, when it's triggering things within her.
So then, yeah, you can speak. And after that, I said what she said in the moment. I said that you should tell Nana how you felt, because I thought. When I'm saying don't make it about you, I don't mean like don't tie it to something that's triggered inside of you. I feel like that should be expressed, because that affected you in that way.
Right,
and
she's saying I would never do that because she's triggered emotionally.
Right.
She's triggered emotionally. She has every right to be triggered emotionally because of what Nana's doing. Is some fucked up shit in the moment. It's some fucked up shit. And yes, we're all looking like, okay. Now, if you're not tied to it in no kind of way, it's easy for you to say. If it doesn't trigger something, if what Nana's doing doesn't trigger something in you, it's easy for you to say, don't take it personal. But if she's triggered personally, then it has everything to do with her. You know what I'm saying? Because the universe is showing her something about her past right now. And if you're going to support Nana, you got to support her too. Because at the end of the day, what Nana's doing is triggering something in her, and you're ignoring her feelings. You're saying, you don't matter right now. Nana matters. Don't make it about you.
My thing was, don't make it about you if you're going to lie. And that's...
What? Lie about what?
Whatever I called out in that moment that she was lying, I don't remember straight off.
Thought I was lying because I was looking at the door to see if...
and that's what she was looking.
She was looking out the door. What? What do y'all feel? What do y'all feel? Wait. Hold on. We're going to stay level. What do y'all feel she was expressing?
I mean, she was...
Speak up.
She was like, I don't think she could lie about something that she's personally, like, experienced. And she was just, like, looking at the situation, like, from her trigger trauma. So it's like, how can she lie about it or something like that? And when she said she was looking to the left, she was, like, trying to see what was going on, because, like, it was still in a moment when the situation was happening. So she was, like, just being alert of everything.
And Sheeba, you were standing over there, right, when everything happened?
When I was saying the story that I was explaining was the same thing I talked to you about. Yeah, I was talking about a moment where Nana actually was physically in the van, like she was about to leave. And I was standing on the steps, and I was taking myself back to that moment, what I felt in that moment. And when I was talking about that story, I was looking at the door because I remember standing there and how I felt and all the emotions I felt. And I did talk about it in that moment. And when I was looking to the left, I was looking out the door, and she was like, "You're looking to the left, so you're lying." And I'm like, "How could I lie about a real story that I felt in the moment?" Like, it was crazy, and it did make me even more like now when I was like, so I'm not talking to you, Mama Joy, I'm talking to them, because and that's what I said in the moment. Because I was like, if you're not gonna let me get out what I'm trying to get out, I don't want to talk to you, you know. But yeah, that's what I did. I just looked to the left, which was where the door was, which is where I was standing when I felt the emotions I was feeling. I was just putting myself back in that position where I felt, so I could express it clearly. Yeah.
So that's what actually happened. But what happened in your mind was something totally different. Right. But that's in your mind. That's not what's, and that's what Eliana does. Mm-hmm. She makes something happen in her mind, and that's what's reality. And that's what it is. And then now she starts to project that into the reality, and that ain't nothing different than what she do. That ain't what happened. Instead of you communicating through it and being like understanding and saying, "Yo, what's going on with you? Like, what happened?" You would realize that, yo, she was going through some shit. It had sparked her, but because it didn't spark you, you like stay cool in this moment. It's about Nana. But yo, something happened within her. And you projected that shit like, yo, this ain't about you. And you trying to, you know what I mean? And then it's like, no. And you know what I'm saying? And I feel like what happened with Nana is projection of how you handle things in Babylon. And you want to focus on Nana because that's how you relate to it. Like, okay, what we're doing is focusing on Nana because Nana's acting like me. You see what I'm saying? So you're going into it as you, like, because it's like, this is how I was. She's getting a different perspective of it because she's coming from not the baby girl's perspective. She's coming from that perspective. You can give two shit less about that because you focused on you and how it's affecting you, which is that, yo, this is about Nana, because what's going on with Nana has everything to do with what shows you. But you're not looking at her. She's coming from another perspective of it, like, oh my God, that's fucked up. I can't. So all these feelings from her childhood are coming up. You know what I'm saying? And you're not seeing that. And so you projected your shit and was like, man, fuck all that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Which is not higher self, that's lower self. You got stuck into your own shit and what's going on with you, and then seen what you wanted to see and then made that. And that's exactly what Eliana does. Eliana sees what's going on with her and her mind, and she makes that reality affecting everyone around her, plus baby Eliana, right? In a moment of emotions, making it all about herself, instead of being able to make a decision that, to be able to see the big picture in a small moment. Because when we get emotional, our mind gets small as fuck. Our view gets like this. When we get emotional, our shit go, woo. Yeah.
Oh, they can't see you.
As soon as we get emotional, our minds shrink into a narrow vision of what the fuck we're going through, because the emotions turn up. When we're triggered, our emotions are triggered personally. We get in our emotions, and our emotions close our perspective and narrow our perspective into a keyhole size perspective. We can't see the full picture. We can only see what we're feeling and come from where we're, and this is what most people do. Soon as the emotions are struck, our perspective shrinks. Don't matter. I don't give a fuck. It's about me. It's about what the fuck I'm going. You be alright. You start making decisions from a perspective, from a small perspective. Right? And so, in that moment, you were not defending Nana, you were defending you. If you really look at it for what it is. From a bigger perspective, you were not defending Nana. You defending. Huh?
I didn't defend her. I did not.
How do you... but isn't this what it's about? You defending Nana?
I think she was just trying to, like you said earlier, she was just trying to fight what I was saying.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't take it personal.
It's a fight. You was ready to fight. But you were literally...
I understand it from...
The fight is always a defensive. Defense. There's always a defense.
Yeah, I think that she was upset about what was happening.
You're not seeing it. You're not seeing it for clearly. Listen. What was going on with Nana was going on with you. So it triggered things that you were going through and how you respond to shit in Babylon. Right? Right. So let's not look at Nana as Nana. Let's look at Nana as you. Now, in that moment, she attacked Nana's actions.
So what I was saying.
So you was fighting, not for Nana, but you understand what I'm saying to you?
I get what you're saying, but that's incorrect, because I was saying everything that we say here is a repeated statement that's said here every time. Do not take it personal. If somebody does something, it don't have nothing to do with you.
No, when it
has
becomes
what they
when it
feel about
becomes
themselves.
no, but
And
when
that's
it
what I
becomes
was saying.
excessive,
It don't got nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with how that person is viewing themselves, and that's why I was saying don't take it personal, because it don't really have anything to do with you in that sense. It has everything to do with how she feels about herself.
That's
and
on
what I
a
was saying.
level. That's on one level.
And that's why I expressed to her that she should still tell Nana how she felt, how that affected her. I was not in disagreement with that. The only thing that I disagreed with, and she was expressing it again, so it still triggered her. So I'm saying, yeah, you should tell her that.
This is going to continue to happen. The behavior is going to continue to happen. You could do what you're doing right now, but it ain't going nowhere. It ain't the issue that you're having that called this meeting. It's not going nowhere because you ain't willing to change. So Fight it. Defend yourself all you want. It's not going to go anywhere. No, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is that you're affecting people, and they're coming to you and telling you about it, and you're defending yourself, and it's not going to change. And you walking around like, oh well, this person did this, and this person is phony, and you're not seeing where you're going wrong. You're not.
No, I agree with what was said. I said I agree that I can speak in a way that isn't aggressive, so you can feel more open.
Yeah, but you saying that other people are phony here. You saying that people are phony here.
I said I feel like there's a problem with being transparent.
So isn't that mean that people are phony? You said that.
Okay, if you want to use the word phony, we can use the word phony. I'm saying if you're not fully expressing how you feel about anything, about anyone, that's not being fully transparent. I'm not saying that you're a phony person because you don't open up fully about how you feel in a moment. I'm saying that there is a problem with that.
Wait. Slow down. Because you just contradict the shit out yourself. First of all, you just said that people, I'm not saying that people ain't phony. I'm just saying that people ain't being transparent. The same shit.
Because I'm not calling you phony.
No. That's what you said. That's what you said. That's the word you used. That's the word. That's the word. First of all, calm down. First of all, relax. Second of all, you used the word phony.
I didn't use the word phony. You used the word
Oh
phony.
my God.
I said transparent and honest.
No, did she use the word phony?
No. I used the word transparent
You was.
and honest.
I'm dressing the word phony because that's the word you
That's
used.
not the word that I used.
Wow. Okay.
She even just said it. I did not say phony. You used phony because that's
I heard phony because at the end of the day,
That's what I said in my first meeting when I first got here about the other people. I said Vivian phony, but that's not what I said in this meeting.
okay. Let's say you said transparent. Is transparent if someone is not being transparent, is that not being phony?
And that's what I just said now. I said, okay.
So let's not even argue about that. Let's not argue about that. Let's not argue about that. If you're not being transparent, you're being phony. You're not keeping it real. You're being fake. Well, we were fake or phony. It was one of those words. It was people ain't being real, people being fake, people ain't being transparent. Same shit. We're not gonna argue about that. Here's what's going on. The behavior is going to continue because when they came to you in the meeting right now about how they felt about you, they're not being phony. They're being transparent. This is what they get.
But the meeting was over.
Oh my.
I agreed with what was said. The meeting was over. She said, is there anything else? And I said, I do have something I want to say, but all my thoughts are not fully collected, so I want to wait. You said, let's do it now. So I said, okay. So
No, Eliana came to you and told you about yourself, and everybody in the room told you about your. No, you're not agreeing. Stop saying you said you agree because you're not doing that. You're saying I agree on one breath, and in the other breath you take it shit right away. That's a mind game you're doing with yourself and the way you're arguing to win your point. But that's not gonna work here. It's not gonna work here. You're saying in one breath I agree, and then taking that shit away with the next thing that you say.
So I want to know what did I take away from that I did not agree with in this meeting.
So basically, people are saying you're hard. You're fighting. You're hard to talk to. You're hard to come to because they feel that there's going to be a fight. Am I right?
Yes.
So and you're saying people being not transparent with me.
False. I said I agree with that, and I said that I can speak in a different way so people can feel open to come to me. That is what I said.
But you're not doing it right now.
I said that I just agreed to it.
No, your behavior is the same right now.
Okay, so when I'm
No, in the moment right now, you're doing.
You just said that I was fighting.
What I'm saying is the behavior that you're displaying right now is the same behavior that is the reason that people don't want to come to you. And you're saying in one breath that I'm going to change that, but right now you're not doing it.
Because now you're
So-
saying that. Because now you're saying that I was disagreeing. So I'm like, no. What
So,
did I
okay.
actually disagree to?
When
You
you
are agreeing, but you are still acting like you want to fight. Like,
which is the
you say,
Yeah, man, your energy, and that's what he was saying is like it's an energy, but it's like it's just this attitude you have. Your eyes, this energy, the energy that you have is a fighting, you know what I'm saying? Like even if somebody do come to you, you be like, yeah, I feel what you're saying, but your energy is saying something totally different. It's a defensive.
I agreed if I didn't agree.
But that's what you're doing. On one hand, you're agreeing about something, but it's like you just fighting. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. It's going to continue. The behavior is going to continue. So when you say that people are being phony, what I'm telling you is that they're doing it because of you. You're not. No one's going to be transparent with someone that cannot take what they're going to say.
They don't be talking to me. That's what I was saying from the jump. Is that if you're not addressing me, you can't say that you lying because of me. So don't put that they're not being honest.
Who's gonna? No. Listen. Look at
conversation with somebody else and you lying. That ain't got shit to do with me because I'm not even part of that conversation.
Right, but what I'm saying is everybody knows how they can come to somebody and how they can't just by how you just.
Somebody else and lie, but you're afraid to come to me because I'm gonna call you out on this.
No. That's not it. That's how you think in your mind. I'm trying to give you the reality of the situation, but you still gonna keep your little reality. Fine, be small-minded and stay in your little world. You see what I'm saying? But that's never gonna grow you. If you want the truth, I'm giving it to you. You're not willing to accept it, and then you're still going back into your little world, and it's gonna perpetuate the same problem.
I'm telling you the part that I don't agree with, because I'm saying that when I called out the fact that there was a lie, the conversation did not involve me. So do not.
It was no lie.
Not this conversation. I'm talking about anything. And I don't want to keep going back to the Mama Sheeba situation because it's not just that. It's everything.
Like what? Like what?
Mama Sheba's situation, Joy, listen. Mama Sheba's situation that happened in the kitchen is just a reflective of every other. It's just a different form of it. So if you see them two having a conversation and she says something to her and you feel like she's lying, it's just as equivalent as you seeing Mama Sheba expressing her emotions and then you see it and you make it up in your mind. You think that it's a lie. And I know what it is and I understand it because I've done it. And you can't do that. Even if it was between them two, it's still your reality. It's still, and this is where you disconnect, where you're supposed to push forward. If you seen them,
she don't be disconnecting. She be having her shit too. She just don't say nothing about it. She ain't being transparent about it. She be having a lot of shit she gotta say. She don't say it. She not being transparent about it as she's saying other people. The thing that you're blaming other people for is the thing that you're doing. That's why you're seeing it in your reality. Because at the end of the day, it's trying to show you what you're doing.
That's what you said the first time, and then I was still proving to be right.
What are you talking about?
But if you with the first meeting,
it don't matter if you're proven to be right.
I'll express it, and then I'll be like, no, you're wrong, and this shit will come out. So
right. So no.
So
God,
what
no.
you're saying is no. What I'm saying is because I did express it. So me not expressing it is now what is being told. Not me not expressing it at all. Just me not expressing it in an aggressive manner. Which is what I agree with already.
Look, in that moment.
But you're not doing it right now. You said, I got it. It can be done differently, but you're still doing it right now. So it doesn't matter. You're still doing it.
I just recognized I had a problem, though. Shit,
nah, I'm not saying nah, bruh. If you recognize you got a problem, you exercise change. You exercise the fact that you are that you're going to change. You're not even doing that right now.
Guys, I recognize I have a problem with communication. Alright? Not communication, but communication in a way, because it involves communication. I have a problem with speaking in a way that doesn't come off combative or aggressive. That is my problem. I will work on it so you feel comfortable enough to speak and be honest.
You see what I'm saying? What you said and your energy was two different things. I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you did that. So now you can feel it. Because we damn sure can feel it. Your words don't mean shit. It's your energy, nigga. And that's what your husband is trying to tell you. Your husband trying to tell you the same shit. But you ain't listening. The universe keep telling you something and you fighting. For what?
That's not the way I sit. So I'm like, okay. I looked at you because I'm like, okay, said it. Got it. Now I'm going to sit back the way I normally sit, which is like this.
No, the whole thing that
Mama
you just
Joy.
did was fake. Mama
Do
Joy.
I sit like this?
No,
I
I'm
sat
saying-
like this because this
Now we're going to argue about how you sat. Okay. Yo, Nu, come here, Nu. I'm trying to stay out of here. No, get your- No, report. Report, bruh. Report. Come on in, bruh. Sit down, bruh. No, sit down, bruh. What are you experiencing? Sit down, bruh.
That meant nothing. Like,
What are you experiencing in your relationship with Joy? You got to speak up, bro. All that soft talk. Come on, talk
I'm
up.
experiencing a lot of aggressiveness, combativeness, going back and forth. Basically everything you were saying in the meeting, like holding on to this way that she feels like she's right because of how she feels about herself, and like an inability or a struggle for me to like help her see herself in a lot of moments.
Right.
Like
That's what I'm feeling right now. Exactly.
Of what she sees, and it's like, yo, you gotta be able to like be receptive, or you're not gonna be able to grow. You feel me? You gonna keep doing the same shit
and you're getting the same thing from everybody, and everybody's wrong.
But he just told me that he likes the fact that I'm able to be receptive and
In some moments,
In some moments, yeah, that's cool, but
it's just an aspect.
you see what I'm saying? Like, you not getting it, you're not gonna grow. Your universe is clearly like saying, when you hear repetitively something, like your universe is trying to say something to you, especially from your loved ones, the people around you. Okay, so please stop fighting it. Stop defending yourself. Stop. You're doing it right now. You're doing it right now. You're still doing it right now. Stop. You see what I'm saying? Stop. Yo, just stop. Stop and be receptive to what's being said. You're defending yourself. You're not getting it. You're stuck in a paradox. You're stuck in you're not getting it. You're not going to grow. And you take it forever to do it. And you just stop. Stop defending yourself and receive what's being said and consider it. Consider what's being said to you by everybody around you. Nu is not the only person saying it to you. I'm not the only person saying it to you. Everyone around is saying it to you. It's about you right now. Don't point the finger at nobody else and what their shit is, right? When it's about Nana, we talk about Nana. It's about you right now. So be responsible and own up to your shit.
I did.
You're doing it right now. No, you're doing. You don't have to say I did.
So what I should say is,
No, you should say nothing. You should say nothing. You should say nothing. It should be like, all right.
Got it.
Right.
All right, got it.
But your energy is different.
It is very different.
You have a guard up. You're not taking it in.
I don't have a guard up. This is mad.
Yo, why would I tell you if you didn't? Why would I tell you it if you
I
didn't?
have a guard up, but I agree.
Go ahead.
I got something to say. First off, like I had told you before, another thing too is
You got to sound off because the fans is on.
Especially when Chief is telling you something. When we come here, we realize this is our higher self. So if you don't listen to nobody else, when Chief says something to you out of anybody, before you defend yourself, you need to be like, you need to be questioning. If you don't see it, you should question it before you defend yourself.
Exactly.
So what I said was that I agree.
No.
I'm saying it's a thing that's within. That's like, damn, that's my Chief saying that. Like, let me really consider that.
It's got to be somebody in your life that you have to be like, damn, they said it, so let me consider
really
it.
Consider that.
I think I would not say I agreed if I didn't consider it and agree with it. If I don't agree, if you're always saying that I'm a combative person, if I don't agree with it or I'm not really considering it, I'm gonna vocalize that.
But you're doing it right now.
Yeah, but which takes back.
You're doing it about what you're doing it about. You're doing it about what you're doing it about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're doing it right now. You're doing it with this. And this is something that's on top of what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Now you're into, I did agree. You're fighting in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agreed. It's still fighting. If you agreed, then you don't have to say nothing. Like, all right, that's real. That's what's up. That's real. Now that's real. I get it. And then you want to talk about how you get it. When you talk about how you get it, you're receiving it in. Okay, I see where I'm doing that. Then no. When you're doing it, you're like, I see it. Okay, I see what I'm doing. I'm doing it. And then you're like, when we could feel the energy, it's like, yeah, you're right, but you're wrong. But you're right about what you're right about, but you're still wrong. You know what I mean? That's what you're doing. And you're still holding that energy, but yeah, I'm still right. But you're right about that, but so yeah. This is what you're doing. I guarantee you, if we start talking about what's going on here, this is exactly what you're doing. You're saying, you're right, but you're wrong about this. What am I wrong about?
You're not wrong about it.
Stop lying. Now you're lying. Now you're not being transparent. Now you're being phony.
No, I'm being truthful.
No, you're lying.
I agree with if I agree, ain't got shit else to say. If I agree with it,
Right, but in this particular situation, you still saying that you agree with something, but on another hand, there's stuff that you don't agree with. And that is what we're trying to get to right now. You're like, okay, you're right about this, and I agree about that. But there's
no but. It was a completely different situation. But me, I shouldn't bring up anything, even though it was asked, because I agree with what was said about me. That we were having a meeting. So if something was addressed, that's okay. There's confusion because I agree with everything that was said. Yes, right. Everybody remembers me agreeing. Yes or no?
what was said.
That I come off as aggressive and combative, and that my energy can stop people from wanting to speak to me and communicate with me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, and I agree that could be done differently.
And what could you do differently?
Come off in a way that's not aggressive.
Like what?
With my body language, show that I'm understanding.
With just understanding what the person is saying and where they're coming from, without defense.
I understand what they're saying.
Right. But there's more of a defense than understanding. An understanding before you push what you got going. More of a receiving of what the other person is feeling and thinking before you just defend and bring what you got in.
I did. So now I can't even say I did when I just literally was just what I just literally.
If you did, the response would be totally different.
Okay, I do. I said that.
No,
And then it's just
You're
clear.
doing it again.
If you understood what he said in this moment, you would have displayed that.
Just
He's
now.
giving you something to receive.
Just now, you're doing it right now. It's like a paradox. Like you're trapped in this paradox. You're doing it right now. You don't see it.
I do.
You see it.
Yes.
Okay, what are you seeing? What are you seeing?
But I see that I should defend myself with all of my understanding.
Right. If you understood, there should be an actual constructive interference. There should be like, oh, okay, I see where
Right.
I did that.
That makes more sense.
Okay, that makes more sense. And then there's a calmness. Then you can say, I seen it. What I seen was this, or this is what I seen. I see what you're saying. I see where you're coming from. Like, right? Like I get it. Like I get what you're saying. Like I see how you saying that I'm doing this first.
Right.
Then coming in with what you're seeing, with your perspective, saying, okay,
Chief, is that not what I did?
no,
So when I agreed with everyone in the room, with everyone just
you did not do that.
I just agreed.
No,
I
no.
just asked
To
everyone-
say I agree and then get straight into your defense is like,
No, I didn't get straight into my defense. That's not
Wow.
true. The meeting was adjourned.
I wouldn't lie to you, bro. I wouldn't lie to you, bro. I wouldn't lie to you, bro. No one in the room would lie to you. Did she do that?
Yes, you did.
But I just literally asked if I agreed, and then now I said, is that all? The meeting's over. Now I
Because
said,
there's an underlying energy that you
Right.
are
This
still
is
in,
energy like,
Yeah.
like,
which makes it unresolved.
no. Right. It makes it, you always do that. You like, I can see why I did that. But there's this underlying energy where you're not saying, which you're not being totally transparent about, but you disagree. Because when I say, and then it comes out in anger. It's like, because when I say something, it does happen. And then when it does happen, I know I'm right. But it's okay. It's okay. You right. But you know what I'm saying? Like that shit. You know what I'm saying? That stuff still can be.
And just like now, it'll be more energy, like aggressive energy.
There was no aggressive energy. There was no aggressive energy when I addressed what I had to say.
You didn't
Initially.
start yet. Oh.
I'm not listening.
Initially, there was no aggressive energy.
Still not being receptive.
But it came
How
out
felt-
because
how
there
It
was.
still came out
How
right.
receptive if
No,
I'm the only
because
one
Mama
speaking?
Joy.
You're doing it again right now.
There was no defense. If I'm the one speaking, who am I defending?
Well, Mama Joy, okay, listen.
Yo, Joy, you're not smarter than me, my nigga. Cut it out.
What I'm saying is,
Stop. Like, this has to be a certain line that you draw with certain people. Like, yo, my nigga, you not smarter than me, my nigga. I don't know why you be trying me like that. No, right now, you're trying to defend yourself, and it's offensive to your teacher, to your chief. Like, literally, my nigga, like, once it get to certain people, it should be like,
right, like what you said.
yo, you actually acting like you got it. Like you
But that's like
like I'm wrong. Like you really coming at me like that. Like come on.
How?
Like,
But that's
no,
like when you. But that's like when
how you argue with me at this point? Like you argue with me is like wild turkey. It's crazy. If I'm saying something to you, you should consider that shit, and you're still doing it. You're still doing it right now.
I want to know so there's no confusion in my mind. I'm arguing with you. What was the argument with me about?
Now you don't remember.
No, I want to make sure it's clear. I was arguing with you about
Everything, anything that I have to say, you argue it. It doesn't matter what it is. You're arguing it.
everything.
Anything that I'm telling you, you're arguing it. It doesn't matter what it is. I could tell you right now something. You'll be like, no, it's not. It doesn't
Or
matter. And you
you'll
do
agree
this
or
not
you'll
only with
agree
me.
and then-
You do this with your husband. I feel sorry for him because we don't know what's going on when we're not around. But he's constantly dealing with this as a man. And he's telling you he's dealing with the same shit, and you're not listening.
Is she more receptive to you one-on-one than in a group, like with everybody else?
No.
No.
The real nigga moment that we didn't have is that they got into it. They keep getting into it about the same shit. This is the shit. This is the shit. This is the shit. Right? But that's not. I'm not talking about that in detail. I'm talking about the fighting, the back and forth, the arguing. Every time he comes to you about something, you're not really taking consideration what he's saying and just defending yourself to the point where it's just back and forth, and then you come out of nowhere like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but and that just took away from everything that you said that you understood. But you said, I did say I agree. I did say I agree about that. But what you're not understanding is and all that is taken away from the agreement.
Yeah.
So it's like a mind game because it's like, did you agree? You just said everything that said that you didn't agree. And that manifests in your life. As everyone's your enemy, everyone's against you, everyone, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, when does it stop? Who's the person that you can go to that you know is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you some shit.
Just so it's clear.
I'm not saying the enemy like
No, I know. I'm just making sure that
like that kind of enemy. I'm talking about
It happened
a
before.
rival in a moment of a back and forth, you know?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
A rival, not
Yeah.
an enemy. Like, yeah, like no one likes you. It's like in the moment it becomes round one.
I think I'm a rival.
A lawyership. It becomes you go straight into court. Like you as a lawyer, like you defending yourself. You and somebody, we become prosecutors, and you are like the defender lawyer. Like immediately, like Your Honor, I hear what the defendant, what the prosecutor's saying, but might I add that? And I'm like, you're not seeing the big picture here. The big picture is to step back and first consider the other person's feelings. Then, once you truly have absorbed all the other person's feelings, express what you have to say. Respectfully. Without taking away the fact that you understood the other person in the process. With what you have to say. If I say I understand you, and then I say, okay, but and then that goes against what I said that I understood you about, then what you said, you know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Do you grasp what I'm saying to you?
yes, I understand.
Now, before you go into defending yourself, and in any instance, when you say I understand, first go into the understanding. Use your words and energy to go into to talk about the understanding. Don't just say I understand. Talk about it for a while. What you understand. What do you understand right now?
I understand that.
Speak up.
I understand that everything doesn't need to be argued, and if I truly understand, I should just express the understanding instead of going into my perspective of it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I got.
Your
No,
perspective
that's not what I
is
said.
understanding.
Exactly.
Your perspective, it matters. Your feelings and your perspectives and your thoughts matter. Just not initially.
Exactly.
is what I'm saying to you.
And make sure I fully absorb the other person's feelings because I understand how it affects
First,
them. Right.
absorb the other person's perspective completely. By expressing that, you understand where they're coming from. Then, with what you have to say, expressing it in a way that's not gonna say that I don't really understand what the fuck you talking about. Because you could say I understand with one breath, and then contradict the shit out of yourself with your perspective, which is crazy. Because you just explained how you understood, and now you give your perspective, and it just wipes away the whole understanding.
When I do that, it's not. When I say I understand and then I give the perspective, I still hold this understanding. It's a defense. Like Rooms already said, it was a defense. So I'm not trying to defend myself. I'm explaining what I was thinking in that moment. I agree that my perspective was wrong. I was just.
But there's no need to explain it.
And that's where I understand now is that I don't have to explain that perspective that I had in that moment if I truly understand it.
It's only going to bring up.
Right. Because I got it now from this agreement.
Right.
So there's no need to explain why.
Why? Unless you gently say, "Oh, I'm tripping because I was thinking like this," and in the explaining of understanding, you could say how you were thinking and how not to say that you're wrong all the time, because you might very well be right, but it's all when you're right, even when you're right, you want to really be right, understand the other person's perspective first, and then push the perspective. If you really want, if you are right, and somebody comes to you, you understanding them disarms them. And then you completely understand them first, even if you're right, to understand them first, and then come to your perspective and say, this is how I perceived it. This is how I seen it. And when you're right, just straight, like, yeah, I get it. That's what I do with Eliana. That's how I get her out of her shit. First, I go into her mind. Completely. Fuck what I have to say. I already know I'm right. I go right in her mind. And I'm like, fuck it, all right, let's leave. We leaving. Let's go. In our minds, let's go. Fuck it, we out of here. All right, cool, you out, let's leave. You know what I'm saying? I know what I have to say is right, but she don't. How do I get her to stop? You got to go in. And that goes for you too. Try it too. Both ways. To listen, you can display that with action. You could display that. You could show her how to do that with just doing it. You know what I'm saying? You could just say, okay, I see where you're coming from. Because you feel like da-da-da-da. What I'm saying is, and this is the perfect way to communicate through emotions, but it's hard. It ain't easy. And this is what people pay hundreds of dollars to learn how to do in counseling. To let the other person talk and then you repeat. Professionals do this. They, in the argument in counseling, right? In counseling and couple counseling, you let the other person argument come out. And then before you argue, you repeat how you understood what the person is saying first. Then you say your argument and that other person has to repeat what they heard, just so that we know that we're listening to each other. The art of communication is listening and being heard. Once the person has received the fact that you understood what they fucking mean, then they're more open to hear what the fuck you got to say. That's communication 101, especially in relationships. Okay, so let's get to a more understanding of what we need to know here. Okay? When someone comes to you, like this morning, Nana said, listen, there's a problem. You get real defensive. You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. And you got defensive about being defensive. And this turned into something that was a little thing between you and Sheeba, into it being something that the universe needs you to look at in general, in all your relationships when it comes to new. You're doing that to New. And I don't know what New is doing to you, but the universe is asking of something of you to change. You see what I'm saying? And when you hear it over and over, that means that the universe is asking you to change. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And so that exercise alone will, but if there's underlining things of trust, and that's why I think it's the underlining thing is a trust thing. You trust your perspective and you more than you trust the minds of others, no matter who it is, obviously, because I'm trying to tell you something. You won't even consider what I'm saying. You have trust issues when it comes to other people and their perspectives because you feel that you're right a lot, and you very well may be. You, like I said, you when you was with me, I was like, yo, you got a lot of confidence in your mind. More confidence in your mind than my mind. And that is going to be a problem because you're going to be always fighting me. Because you're like, yeah, well, my mind tells me this. And I'm like, let's do the mathematics on this. Let's slow down. Let's put it all on the table and see whose mind got it a more perspective, a healthy perspective on this. So I have to open up the charts, look at the perspectives and see shit like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard to tell someone like you, maybe because you like, oh, people you trying to say I'm crazy. I ain't crazy. You might be defending that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm mentally unstable, so you'll try to like, oh, yeah, well, I got this, though. You know what I'm saying? That's good. No one's trying to harm you here. Nobody's trying to, we just want to get along.
Yeah.
We just want to get along. Everyone really likes you. I like you two together. I think he's been really patient with you, don't you think? Mm-hmm. You don't think so?
Yeah, I
Do you see your faults?
do. Yes, I
Tell me about your faults.
do. My flaws.
Your faults.
My faults. Being combative.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Why do you think that you're so combative?
I feel that I'm combative with him sometimes.
No, just with people in general.
with people in general.
Why are you combative as a personality? Why are you combative? Because this is something. Do you realize that this is something you do with everybody? And throughout your life? No. I'm talking about you as a person. Let me ask you this: do you see this response throughout your whole life? No.
I didn't.
So this is new,
It's new that it's being addressed.
right? No. I'm talking about the behavior.
Yes.
Really? So
I'm
this
trying
is
to think-
Wait, this just started.
Maybe
I
she
mean,
didn't see it before.
No. You're right. Maybe she didn't see it before. Maybe the new thing that's happening that's being addressed now. But you're telling me that this behavior that you've displayed hasn't happened prior to here in your life at all.
Yes. No, yes, as it did.
Okay, it did. Okay, I'm like, whoa. Because that would mean that you don't understand truly. You know what I'm saying? Like you said you understood, but you didn't really understand because for you to truly understand it is to acknowledge that this has happened all your life. This is something that's happening all your life. It's just that the only difference is here you're addressing it. That you're buckling down and dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't admit that this behavior has been displayed all throughout your life.
Yeah.
You sure? Because that answer kind of teeter-totted. Can you see
Yeah.
this behavior throughout relationships, through
Yeah.
dealing with
I
people?
feel like that's where it was, where it came out. It was just in my last relationship. I don't feel like I was a very combative person in this relationship.
Well, that's what it took for you to understand
Right.
that you was.
Exactly. So.
Right. Okay. That's the first step. First step is to realize, yo, I'm a combative motherfucker. As soon as motherfucker come in, I'm with the shits, right? Everything, nigga. What? I didn't press play, nigga. I pressed motherfucking rewind, nigga. You know, anything is going down. Like anything, I'm defending. Think I'm the defender. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think you're this way? Your Sun square Mars. Okay. Oh, okay. What does that mean? Sun square Mars. Combative.
She knows.
She what?
She knows.
So she knows that you know that your Sun square Mars is why you're combative. What are you going to do to counteract your weakness?
I have to channel the energies.
Hey, you. Round of applause. How would you plan? Like that. In the back clapping. Family. How do you plan in the future to constructively channel that energy?
Not during conversations.
I can't hear you.
Not during conversations.
Not during conversations? What do you mean?
Because the energy is.
You gotta speak up.
The energy isn't constructive during an argument. During a conversation.
But how do you plan on constructively channeling that energy in the moment?
In the moment, not during a conversation.
I can't hear you.
Not during a conversation, and during activities, which is why I like the garden.
No, but what happens when you're dealing with your husband? We just told you what to do.
Not to argue.
No. We told you the remedy already. I just gave you the remedy.
Showing understanding. And fully absorbing.
Tell me the process. Tell me the process.
Not defending myself.
How are we channeling the energy? What's the process? What I just gave it to you. What did I say to do?
You said do not defend myself initially.
Right, and to do what?
To fully absorb the other person's feelings.
Perspective.
Yeah, perspective, and show that I have an understanding.
You understand where they're coming from, even if they're wrong.
Defending myself.
By not defending yourself,
Right.
even if they're wrong, showing that you understand where the other person's coming from first,
Right.
and then telling them your perspective after you realize that they understand, that you understand where they're coming from.
Right.
Then coming in with your perspective respectfully.
Yeah.
That's how you constructively channel that energy.
Right.
Practice makes perfect. Failure is inevitable. Failure is inevitable. Practice makes perfect. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody's asking you to get it right away. But the first step is that you acknowledge that you have this issue with Sun is squaring Mars. And you're combative. And to realize that this is happening as a pattern. And you want it to stop because you want to grow. It's not permanent. It's an aspect.
Right.
Let's get it. Time to come into our higher self.
Right.
Right? All right. So keep an eye on you. If you do it again, it's going to get brought up. Don't get upset. And I'm going to come to you, and the first thing I'm going to do is say, what? Did you use the process that I told you? Did you constructively use the energy? That's just like with Eliana. Eliana complains that I tell her to address the person because I gave her the remedy to her problems and how to work on them. And right? I've given you the remedy on what you need to do and the process you need to take to constructively utilize that energy. And she comes to me every time, well, I got a problem. It's not, no. I'm upset at this point because I've already given you.
And then I argue the solution that
This-
he gave me. Like,
I gave you the
"Well, it
format.
didn't work."
Did you
Like,
do
we're
it?
not-
No, I didn't do it. I'm coming to you because I feel like I can talk to you. Like, no, I told you to address the person.
Yeah.
Now with you, I'm giving you the remedy.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
So because of that,
You got to speak up, though. You have to
So
speak.
because of that aspect, I have a lot of energy. So then if I can follow the process, right? I follow the process.
You have to learn how to control that energy and harness
So what I'm
it.
saying, it's gonna look like I'm shaking and shit, and then they gonna be
No,
like,
stop. See, that's how your mind is doing it. Your mind is playing that out.
I'm serious. They're gonna be like, you're not calm. You need to calm down. I'm like, I am calm. That's why.
The
I'm
calming
calm.
process is you stating that you understand.
Right.
That's the calming process.
Yeah.
The calming process is, number one, controlling your energy. Having self-respect, having self-dignity, and having self control. That's a moral here, right? Morals over desires. You have the desire to lash out. The moral is to say, okay, I have complete control over my emotions. I feel the emotion is very strong. Okay, I am in control of my being. Number one, I understand where you're coming from. It takes practice. You get better at it. I understand where you're coming from. You're saying that this, and this, right? And you also feel that I'm doing this, and this. And I can understand that because if I was you, I would feel like that. You understand what I'm saying? Is that how you feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that how you feel? And you're like, yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm feeling. Like, good. What I'm saying is that I know that sound, you don't want to be doing that forever, but if you start doing this, I guarantee you, your relationship and your communication is going to get better and better. You're not going to have to do that all the time. It's something that you just have to practice in the beginning. And after a while, the person actually learns from you how to do that. So here's leadership. So first, understand the other person's perspective completely until they see that you understand them. Get them to understand that I understand what you're saying first. Then bring in your perspective. That is the key to it, to controlling it. That is the method to controlling it. You got it? Are you excited about working on that? And applying that to your life? Is everybody in here going to do that too? All right? You say everybody like, you're in the back. They watching in the back. You look defensive in your body language. You want to open up a little bit there? Right. And comfort is not growth. You want to open up a little bit there? Your body language is saying something totally different. The body, people say that the universal language is mathematics. People say that the universal language is the meta nature. The universal language is body language. The universal language in life is body language. In nature, a dog doesn't know what you're saying. It knows your gestures. The dog is figuring out your gestures and your tones and your energy. Animals are talking energy, body language, etiquette. That is the universal language of the universe. Don't let nobody tell you the meta nature and all that. That's the original language. The original language is body language. What you do, actions speak what? Louder than words. So what you're doing with your body says everything about what you're trying to say and what you're saying. Huh? Right? So when you look at somebody's body language, you can tell. Are you open to the criticism? Are you open to growing? Or are you comfortable? Up, accepting, willing to change. Your body language says it all. So, y'all call in, man. Do you think this is good advice? How do you feel about what's going on in y'all universe? And do you have these same problems? We're going to open up for comment and question. Your face looks like you're not accepting it. Okay. Hey, all right, so y'all come back in the next room. We're going to open up for comments and questions.